Hey guys, it's Ricky. Got another commentary for you. This was requested to me by Seaster91, and the person I will be commentating on is a user on YouTube known as Sonicfan5200. And recently there's been a flame war that's been centered around him and his opinions on a fan series that is created by Realm Wars that is called Klonoa Dream Bullet. And how this flame war started is simple. SonicFan5200 posted a video with outlandish and ridiculous suggestions to Realm Wars on how he can improve said series. People called SonicFan5200 out on his bullshit, and as a result, he cried. Now, keep in mind that this commentary is coming from a person who's working on a fan series himself. And to put his stubbornness into a good analogy, I'm gonna have to say that this guy's more stubborn than Lena Zenyo. Yeah, I wish I was kidding. And you guys better be ready for a long one because this is, without a shadow of a doubt, my longest solo commentary ever. Because I'm gonna be commentating on not one, not two, but 3 videos of his. One of which is a commentary of a video that was calling him out on his bullshit. So, without further ado, let's begin, shall we?
Hey guys, it's me Sonicfan5200. I was going to use my real voice for this, but I have a bit of a cold so I don't feel like talking, but I'm still going to get this rant across. This rant is about Realm Wars Klonoa's Dream Bullet series.
Alrighty then.
I have quite some issues with this series that I personally think need to be addressed. First of all, the notable problem is the voices are hard to hear.
I'm gonna have to agree with him here. The voices in Klonoa Dream Bullet are sometimes pretty hard to hear. And how is one able to follow the story if he or she can't hear everything the characters are saying? Unfortunately, that was the one point where I ever agree with him.
I had to turn my volume up to full blast in order to hear them, but then again my ears were raped by the annoying music.
Would you prefer no music at all? Because here's a clip from a series made by Summoner87, and I'm sure you'll just love it. Yeah, quite boring, isn't it?
Still, that just makes the episode unwatchable. Although it's not like the voices are good anyway. Another problem is that her animation doesn't look that fluent. That is, compared to something like Super Mario Bros. I just think you need to make it more fluent like Alvin Earthworm does with his flash animations, and it'd be more interesting to watch.
Well, not everyone can be like Alvin Earthworm. You do realize this, right? And just because a series has animation that isn't quite up to par doesn't exactly make it bad. I think you should be more concerned if the story itself is interesting or not, because that's what matters the most here.
I was also disappointed with the story. Seriously, the story seems like a Dragon Ball Z knockoff.
A Dragon Ball Z knockoff, you say? That sounds like a series that you mentioned before. It's just too bad I can't remember what it was. And by the way, I don't know what version of Klonoa Dream Bullet you watched, but the one that I watched didn't really remind me a whole lot of Dragon Ball Z, except maybe the sound effects.
You couldn't come with something more original? Now on to the sprites. The sprites you use are unappealing. Seriously, those sprites are horrible. I'm pretty sure there's better ones out there, but instead you just use whatever you find as usual.
Care to elaborate why the sprites are bad? Or at least give some suggestions or screenshots of sprites that he can replace them with? Anything?
Now on to the biggest complaint, and this one's a big one. The cast of characters. My biggest complaint is you're making a Flash series with no Sonic.
And this is a problem why?
Why not? Sonic would bring something like this to life. Yet you
How?
decide not to let him be in it and replace him with a nobody character.
What's the problem with using a supposedly underrated character so he can get some more publicity? Not to mention using a character that isn't as popular as Sonic is slightly more original.
Seriously, Sonic would have made a bigger impact with a series. With is weird, because you won't use Sonic, yet you use Klonoa. I mean, Klonoa is just a Sonic wannabe. He looks a lot like him, so I choose him over Sonic.
Again, why does it matter? Why do you care so much?
Seriously, this was a really stupid choice you made. Also, why have Knights and not Sonic? They're both made by the same people, so why? Seriously, your series won't get popular if Sonic isn't in it. It will just remain on the bottom with videos made by Crazy Time 77 and possibly Joshua 8428, and that's a very bad thing that I'm pretty sure you don't want. Why go away from what you were doing before? Making sprite animations with Sonic is what you do best. So I change it to something that's not going to be as effective, if not effective at all.
'Cause he wanted to try something new?
Ever since you heard of Klonoa, you've been making bad decision after bad decision, even going as far as to referencing him in your commentaries.
You're making such trivial things seem like they're ruining Realm War's quality. Why is it such a big deal? If he wants to reference Klonoa in his commentaries, then let him. 'Cause it sounds to me he just wants to give his commentary something new and fresh.
Nobody is going to get your jokes if you do nothing but reference Klonoa. Being will understand Sonic more because everyone has played Sonic and will understand what you're talking about. Just enough of Klonoa and go back to making videos about Sonic, because those videos were awesome.
Dude, who are you to say that? Who are you to say that he should just make one particular video only? Dude, he has a choice, okay? Keyword here, a choice on whether or not to make those certain kinds of videos. There's a difference between ordering someone to make a video and just requesting someone to make a video. And what you're doing is ordering. And it just shows that you are really pretentious and selfish.
Also, the jokes for Klonoa's Dream Bullet aren't even that funny. The only character in that series who's even funny is Deadpool, but even his jokes only last a while until they fade away and become unfunny.
Well, humor is in the eye of the beholder.
This series just isn't funny at all. Were you even trying when it came to making jokes? Because to be perfectly honest, it looked like you couldn't come up with anything. This is why you should have just stopped when doing sprite shorts, because when you do stuff like this it ends up being completely terrible and not like your stuff. I'll admit I thought it was awesome at first, but after watching it a couple of times I got incredibly tired of it. Also,
So you pretty much just suddenly thought it was shit. No offense, but that kind of gives me the vibe that you're just doing all this just to get attention.
so you have this on both YouTube and Lit TV. Why? I thought Lit was for commentaries only. Why are you uploading this on other sites, considering it's not even good on YouTube?
Probably because he wanted more than one way to get his series across to some potential viewers.
Not to mention, why is the show's intro so long? Compare that to his intro for commentaries, which is like 7 seconds long. The intro to Klonoa's Dream Bullet is over a minute and 20 seconds. You think that's enough?
Dude, many series out there, fan-made or not, have more than 1 minute long intros. And the reason why commentaries or rant series intros aren't so long is because people are only interested in the rants or the commentaries. They want to get straight to the point. Whereas an intro in a series like Klonoa Dream Bullet is all part of the show. And intros to series like Klonoa Dream Bullet sometimes help viewers get a little fired up about what's to come.
Not to mention the theme music isn't even good anyway. It's all jumpy and happy when the plot you were going for was supposed to be funny but being able to take it seriously.
Funny, but being able to take it seriously. I don't know about you, but a happy kind of intro music sounds like the perfect candidate for a plot like that. I mean, did you look over what you just said? You said the plot was supposed to be funny, but being able to take it seriously, and a huge keyword here was funny.
Also, the audio is very poorly edited since I could hear when the music cuts off where you made the edits. Looks like you've got a ton of work to do. I also heard you've gotten the whole idea for the series beforehand. Yeah, right. Nobody can have an idea for an entire series already. Also, I'd like to talk about the logo.
Dude, it really doesn't seem like you put a whole lot of thought into the organization of this rant. You just keep jumping from topic to topic without any kind of structure whatsoever. I mean, how do we jump from discussing on how we got the idea for the series to the logo? And hell, just a moment ago it sounded like you were about to conclude your rant. Not a whole lot of people are going to take you seriously with a really jumbled, scrambled mess like this.
The series logo looks like it took 20 seconds in Photoshop. I know it was done in Photoshop because it says so on his DeviantArt. Seriously put more time into the logo.
Any tips? Pointers? Concept designs? Anything?
Also, how come Agent 1 isn't in this either? You make your own character, yet you don't even make a series for him?
Again, I have to say, that's his choice, man.
He doesn't have to exist in just his manga. Besides, Agent 1 is more badass than Klonoa anyway, so it's all the better reason to use him. Also, how come there's barely any blood? You're famous for having very gory stuff in your flash animations. I mean, look at what Agent 1 does to the guy he fights. He goes Kratos on their ass in the most badass fashion.
So, blood and gore are things that help make a series good. Well, then by your logic, Sonichu must kick some serious ass.
I also believe I'm not the only one who has said something like this. Well, it's glad to hear I'm not the only one with these concerns. Until these changes are met, I don't even want to know what the other episodes are like.
Well, this series wasn't made for just you, so too bad.
You need to change everything and it should be fine.
So, you just want him to scrap everything that he's worked on so far. And then it would be good. How the hell does that make any sense whatsoever?
Also, I don't understand why you don't just have Sonic fan characters either.
Simple, because he doesn't want any Sonic fan characters in it.
They're not optional, so it won't hurt anybody.
What about the creators of the fan characters themselves? What if they don't want their fan characters to be in a series that wasn't created by them?
I know you want this series to be great, but seeing how there's so many things wrong with it, it'll never be the glorious masterpiece you want it to be. Also, why don't you get professional voice actors instead of the cast you have right now? I think someone like Masako X could do a good Klonoa and Lunacator, could do a great Deadpool, but instead you get people you think are only good enough.
Dude, I'm pretty damn sure that people like Masako X get tons and tons and tons of requests to do voice work for some other people's series all the friggin' time. So just getting him won't be that easy. The only thing that Realm Wars can do is post auditions at a place like the Voice Acting Club or whatever, and just let the people who do voice work come to him. Unless he knows a couple voice actors already, and he could just PM them asking if they're willing to do a certain role. And when holding auditions, sometimes you just have to settle with what you got, because you can only hold them for so long.
Now for music. You seem to like to use orchestra, which doesn't seem to fit the mood much. You need epic stuff like Metallica and Linkin Park. That'll really make a scene epic.
Dude, do you know how many times both bands have been used in AMVs? Linkin Park has to be the most generic choice you can ever make for picking music for an epic fight scene or whatever. Orchestrated music is a more original choice and works just as well. In fact, I can think of two things that orchestrated music really helped in making something epic: Dragon Ball Kai and Star Fox Assault. And let's not forget the Halo series.
Also, some Sonic music won't hurt much.
'Cause Open Your Heart, His World, and Live and Learn are totally not overused in AMVs and final battle scenes, am I right?
The music is what sets the mood. However, orchestra never sets the mood. In fact, it's mostly very boring. I mean, hearing stuff that sounds like Mozart puts people to sleep.
That is a huge, huge generalization. Not all orchestrated music sounds like Mozart. And as for orchestrated music being boring, bullshit. That's all I can say. Bullshit.
You need more hardcore music and everyone should be happy and energized by it.
Dude, this series wasn't made for just you. Stop making it seem that your suggestions are the only way to go.
After all, the series is supposed to have some energetic stuff in right. Seriously, with all this you could have created a new Super Mario Bros. Z, but instead it's only crap that barely gives Joshua 8428 competition. Either make these changes or just stick to commentaries. It seems like the only thing you can do apparently if you won't make any other sprite animations than this. I am very disappointed. You made this sound really epic during your announcements, but I guess the Sonic cycle had to be replaced with some kind of cycle. This is honestly how I feel, and I feel like this was the most dumbest thing you've ever thought of.
Are you serious? Most dumbest? You want to be taken seriously, yet you just said the most dumbest.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Sonic on crack and hilarious sprite skits owns this series without even trying. Those are things you should be working on because they never got old. This, however, you watch the episode once you are completely bored because of everything I stated. When will you just stop changing things and just stay with what you were doing? People were happy with it, and nobody bitched. However, this on the other hand is just a disaster and should be dealt with before you make a complete idiot of yourself. Hopefully you take what I say into consideration and make these changes. This is Sonicfan5200 signing off. Okay, I've had enough. This is to all those people who left negative comments on my last video. Obviously that last video wasn't as good as my others, but at least it's better than what I was ranting on.
The first of many pretentious comments to come.
I mean seriously, why do so many people like Klonoa's Dream Bullet? I mean the flaws with the series were so blatantly obvious. I don't understand why so many people get mad at me for just pointing the obvious out.
It's because you were being a smug prick about it. You weren't really criticizing Realm Wars. You were pretty much just say, do this, do that, do this, do that. I order you to. It should be this way. You weren't really requesting him or suggesting anything. You were just flat out ordering him to do it.
I mean, you see people do it in commentaries all the time. I gave that video in a mature and professional manner, but it seems you guys can't be pleased unless everything is perfect. Seriously, Klonoa's Dream Bullet is the most retarded thing ever. It's worse than Crazy Time 77's videos. I am dead serious. Now to respond to certain users. First one is Adams Lee. You basically said Sonic is an overrated and overused character. Bullshit. Sonic deserves all the publicity he got.
Guess you also mean the countless waves of bad publicity, right?
He's done a lot more than other video games have done. I mean, compare that to how many Klonoa games there are. Sonic is obviously better.
Ever think of quality and not quantity? And besides, Sonic has had quite a head start on Klonoa, so of course he's gonna have more games. But that doesn't automatically make him better.
Also, without him wanting to do something different. Well, then why does the AVGN do nothing but make video game reviews?
And movie reviews, sketches, blogs, a collaboration with the Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, he does nothing but video game reviews.
You see how stupid that is? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So obviously your points are completely flawed and retarded. Now to Rocket Echidna. Boy, do I have a lot to say. He starts by saying nobody is happy. No shit. Why should I be happy about a series that is completely utterly horrible? Also, you bring up that I bring up no positive points. Why should I?
'Cause then your video wouldn't be as biased as it was.
There's nothing positive about that shitty series and it should just burn in hell. Also about how you say people are always comparing stories to other stories. That argument was completely killed though, seeing as you used a shitty movie like Avatar for your argument. Next time try something better, dumbass.
Just because you think Avatar is a bad movie doesn't make Rocket Echidna's argument invalid. People do constantly compare and contrast stories. People compare Dragon Ball to Journey to the West, people compare Bleach to Yu Yu Hakusho, and I can easily compare the backstories of Racer X from Speed Racer and Proto Man from Mega Man. They're both brothers of the main protagonist, they both became nomads under certain circumstances, and they both help out the main protagonist whenever a situation looks absolutely hopeless without a second man.
Then you say how everyone uses Klonoa rips off Sonic. Well, of course he does. If he didn't, then why would he look so similar to him?
Well, what about his personality? His main goals? His backstory? Anything? Just because a character looks similar to another doesn't automatically make him a ripoff.
Namco was busy looking for cheap bucks, so they got lazy and made Klonoa. What other reason was there to make him?
To have a franchise other than Pac-Man, maybe?
Klonoa is just trying to steal Sonic's thunder.
Care to elaborate on how and why?
Then you say at least praise the guy for trying. Trying at what? Trying at making a very shitty series? Why would I want to praise someone for making a series which is unappealing to everyone who's watched it?
You are not everyone. You are one person who happens to dislike a series that a whole lot of other people happen to like. And so far, I haven't seen one single solitary person that has ever agreed with you on this. So no, Dream Bullet is not a series that is unappealing to everyone who has watched it.
It's a shitty series and anybody who thinks it's good is blind and stupid.
Do you have any idea how much people are thinking that you're a pretentious dick at this point? Anyone who doesn't agree with you is stupid. Wow. You're not going to make a whole lot of people agree with you with an attitude like that, man.